There was a slight technical hiccup, but I had to recharge my battery. But you can see now the transducer is in place. Evening has set in. I'm having to use my headlamp. Cord goes up underneath that pontoon. You may be tempted, as I was, to take a routing following the lines of the pontoon, but you're better off just taking the most direct route, because this cord is really not much longer than it absolutely has to be. So I was able to lace it through the supports, so it's up high and it's well supported. It's out of the way. I was able to feed it up through that previous hole, old hole in the deck with all the other wires. This is underneath the console, and you can see where the wires came up. I did have to take out a little bit of the foam insulation around there to make room, and I can get a can of foam spray insulation to fill that in, to keep moisture out and to keep mice out, etc. Then I will mount the sonar device and screen up on the console up top, drill a hole through for the transducer cable to go through, and then feed the power cable down. And you can see the back of the fuse box with the black and red cables coming in from the battery. I'll just hook into those screws to get my power. The line that's supplied is not long enough to run back to the battery itself, and also this is a much cleaner way to get your power connection. Included in the installation materials, there's this fuse plug, and there's a diagram that shows where those wires go in the where you hook it onto your power source. And there's a 3-amp fuse that goes inside that box. I'll show the end product when I'm finished. This is my mounting bracket in position. I had already determined the best placement for the configuration of this console. I'll still have access to the horn back here, and full view of my dials and my cup holder. And a good view of my rangefinder here. So I'm going to mark with a permanent marker the 4 holes to be drilled. I'll drill those. The instructions indicate what size drill to use depending upon whether it's a hard material or softer like wood. And there are screws included. Then the monitor and sonar controls fit into this. You want to have these slots here facing forward or facing the back, so that you can slip in your monitor from this front here rather than have to go into the back. So and be sure that the Lowrance lettering is facing away from you. I'll drill a hole here. I'll start a pilot hole and then utilize this 5/8 inch bit. I've already measured the transducer cord, and it'll take 5/8 inch to fit the head through that hole to bring it up to the monitor. And then once I've got that through, I'll be able to feed the power cable down through, and the 5/8 inch will allow room for both of the cables to pass through. Okay, so there are the 4 holes to be drilled. And I'll start out with a smaller bit for a pilot and then follow up with the 5/8 inch. So there's our mounted piece for the monitor. For these number 10 screws that are included, for a hard material, you use a 3/16 inch bit. For something soft like wood, plywood or wood, use a 5/32. You want to be sure you get these in snug, but not overly tight that you don't strip out the plastic or the fiberglass or whatever. Now I'm going to slide the monitor unit into its bracket. There are turn screws on the sides to tighten it in place, and you can adjust it then however you want to have it set when you're using it. Looks like I've got it upside down, so I'm going to have to change that. So there's the unit now securely in place, and as you can see, I still have room for my cup holder, and I can get to the horn just by reaching around here to the back and get it with my thumb. This is the power cable. I'll drill a hole here now for the power cable and the transducer cable. So I have fed the transducer cable up from below, and then I have the red and black power cables for the battery, and I'll feed those down through and hook them up down below. This then plugs into the back of the unit just above the power cable. If you put the head of the transducer cable up through that hole first, then you'll be able to easily fit the power line down through the hole. Try to do it the other way around and it won't fit.